Morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while since I've carried on with my story. It's now the 18th of the 7th, 2018. And I'm going to carry on where I left off. I just finished the Bronwyn and mine scenario. Royden, Bronwyn, and myself. I just finished that story. Just before I go on, I mentioned them Byron Abrahams in the last video. Wrong name, it's Ashley Abrams I saw in Rockingham. And with the other company, it wasn't Force that was sending me to Sharp Bay, it was Forge. The company's name was Forge, and they were going to send me to Sharp Bay. They were actually bullying me. They were getting smart, because what they were saying is they're actually forging a pedophile and a rapist, basically, because of everything that's been going on that I've been telling you about. They've been playing games with my life. So this company was forged. They're forging me, and they were going to send me to Shark Bay. They're calling me a shark, basically a predator. So I just wanted to clear that up. So all these companies have been bullying me and assassinating my character, defamation of character, bullying, exploiting me. That's a lot of companies. And I didn't know all this was going on. So I just needed to clear those two things up. Okay, where we carry on from? Now let's say Rob Baumgarten, as far as I know his name is. An Indonesian guy, drug trafficker traffics drugs from Indonesia, apparently. All these are my friends that they've been bullying me. I've told you the story. Sorry, it's just been a while since I've done the story, so I might repeat myself. Okay, a few things about Rob. In mid-2013 and end of 2014, he was telling me about an album, the Eamon Album, and about the song, I Don't Want You Back. You know that song that goes, fuck you, I don't want you back. That Eamon song. So now these, Rob and them, I realized in 2017, these guys were all bullying me. These are my friends dealing with drugs. So they've been used as a medium for the system or somebody else bullying me. So somebody's telling them what to say to me and they bully me, regardless of being my friends, right? So he told me about this Eamon Album, I Don't Want You Back. So I want to know, who was he talking about? Because there's only two people that could be in this case. It could be Mervy, my ex-wife, or Renee Cooper. I caught up with her that same year. So he's telling me, so someone's telling him to say to me that I don't want you back, basically. So it's either for Mervy or Renee, my ex-wife or my ex-girlfriend, sending me messages through him, using him as a medium. So I need to know who it is, or I want to know who it is. And I wish that somebody could tell me. Because he and everyone just basically turns the other way, lie to me or whatever. I can't get anything out of them. Everyone's been telling me fucking stories. So that was end of 2013, beginning of 2014. That's a long time ago that they were sending me messages and I didn't know. Because I was going to his house. So he was bullying me and obviously had me on camera somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And everything was just an orchestrated lie, taking the piss out of me. The people that bully me now call themselves angels. He was talking to me about angels back then. I even drew a picture of an angel for him. So that's what he was saying. He was bullying me. He was aware that people were bullying me, and I didn't know that all this time. And in 2017, last year, iPod. People have been saying to me, I know the system's been denying my progression, right? Now last year I found out on my album that when I gave Rob my iPod in 2013 or beginning of 2014, he put a fucking album on my iPod, and it's called Denny's Progression. It's not Denny's Progression, it's Denies Progression. Can you believe that? Denies progression. He was knowledgeable of the fact that the system was denying my fucking progression, oppressing me and slandering me and defamation of my character, him included. He was knowledgeable of the fact. He gave me a fucking album on my iPod saying denies progression. He's selling me drugs, him and Craig. They're dealers, right? Selling me drugs. They're aware that the system denied my progression. And that whole time, Craig took my taser because he said I owed him money. Rob gave me shit to smoke in a pipe, and it blackened my pipe and ruined my pipe and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So they're taking the piss out of me. He's aware that the system's denied my progression. All my jobs are gone. They've taken my houses, my cars, my kids, everything. He's aware that the system's denied my progression. And he's making me feel like a shit friend, saying I'm owing him money. He's taking my money for drugs, saying I'm owing him money. He knows the system's denying my progression. And he's making me feel like a shit friend, bullying me, slandering me, and oppressing me in my character. Can you believe that? That long ago, they knew that the system was denying my progression. Major work companies are bullying me and oppressing me in my work life and my career and my future. My friends, my family, everybody was bullying me and I didn't know. Everybody knew my progression was being denied. And on top of that, they're making me feel like I was feeling a bit bad, him saying that I owed him money and Craig and all this, you know what I'm saying? So they're making me feel like they're making me feel bad, they're emotionally fucking me over, you know what I'm saying? This was 2013. I was clueless, I didn't know this is going on. They're all doing it with a smile on their faces. And every time I was around them, they surrounded me with drama and oppression. They were making up these stories because they were working on my emotions. They know my nature. Can you believe this? That's what everybody was doing, and I was unaware. We went to the casino once, and we were playing blackjack. Rob took me there. I had about my last couple of $100 left, and so they knew that I had that last $100 left, couple of $100. Took me to the casino, and he played dumb with me on the blackjack table because I wanted to give him my money to bet. And him and the guy at the table said, I can't give him my money at the table. And he was just acting dumb, you know what I mean? I was like, well, can't we walk away from the table and I'll give you my money and you can come back and bet at the table? He was just playing dumb with me, and I realized now it was on purpose. He just wanted me to take me there and lose my money. I'm thinking, what did I do to these people? You know, this is serious business. This is my house, my cars, my kids, and my life. This is not just a bit of money for fucking whatever, and on top of that you were lying. You knew the system's denying my progression. So who told you, how you know the system's denying my progression, and who are you talking about, my ex-wife or my girlfriend? Because at his house one time there was 2 Muslim guys there. You know what I'm saying? Which is funny because Nick, the other white guy from Morley, I went to his house once, and there was 2 guys there that looked like undercover cops. They were acting really strange, man. They didn't even talk to me. They were just sitting around there. People are following me around and playing these games with me. So, you know what I'm saying? And Nick too, he used to bring his son sometimes. And I used to play with his son, you know, and he had a Spider-Man outfit on and all this, yeah? So he was bringing his son to me because the system was trying to see what I think of kids, little boys, because there's this pedophile nature in stigma that they're putting on me. You know what I'm saying? I was unaware this was going on, that people are calling me a pedophile and a rapist. And all my friends and dealers, they were didn't say nothing to me. They were bullying me for the system. How does that work? Everybody knows except me. I don't get it. And they're exploiting me. People were watching me in my room. Rob took me to the Heat nightclub one time to meet Craig in town there. Now, they were just playing on my emotions because I didn't feel like going out and they knew it. So Rob took me to the Heat nightclub. Then we sat in the car park and he said, we're just waiting for Craig, and he calls up Craig. Craig wasn't answering. So we were sitting in the car there for them to make me feel scared and nervous and anxious. This is what people have been doing to me. This is what they do up until today, right now. They've been working to contradict the nature of me, trying to make me anxious, surround me with depression, make me hyped up. I don't understand why people are doing this, because they were watching me and they know who I am, so they were doing everything the opposite. When I was around, they were pretending to be somebody else. When I was around, they were too quiet, too calm, never said nothing. Or it was the opposite, always complaining, whining about bullshit. It was all orchestrated, made up crap. Ask them and they'll tell you. No one will tell me. Put them all on a fucking lie detector test and they'll all fucking fail. We were talking about scales, me and Rob. And he told me to fucking... I gave him my scales because I didn't use the scales for anything. So he told me when I get home to weigh up some stuff that he gave me. And I didn't know that he wanted me to do it because people are watching me through the damn TV. Through my TV in my room. Obviously. Byron came over one time. And we were going halves in a bag. And he took that bag and he took visibly fucking more gear. And I said to him, there's scales there, why don't we weigh it up and we can make it even, exact. And he was just being a bit of a cunt to me. He said, no, that's all right. He said this and that. And now I know it's because, what, did he know that someone was watching us through the TV? So he didn't want to be seen weighing up a bag and all that shit. But people are making me look like that. And when me and Rob were coming back from the Heat nightclub, he was talking about some guy owed him money and he took this guy's car, about $10,000. $10,000 comes up, I'll tell you a little while later. But he was talking about taking some guy's car that owed him money, some Skyline or something. And all that was relative to me with the situation in Sydney. Me, Byron and Rudy. One of Rudy's mates was owed money by a guy. And this guy came and dropped his car off with us. And we took his car, well, Rudy's friend. And so the guy gave him back the money. So he's relaying in my life stories that belong to me. So he's basically bullshitting me about stories. He's taken me around and the system knows the stories. They've been listening to me by invading my privacy. So all I get in is people to metaphorically live out my life or tell me stuff that relates to my life. And I didn't know that. So they're all just making stories up. Even the upskirts photos and all that I was talking about with Rob earlier. He was just relating photos that I had on my phone. These are photos from 2010. Now the thing I didn't tell anybody with these photos, and the photo of Hailey, how do people know that I've got these things? How does the system know that I've got these photos? Because everything they've been testing me out as a deviant or setting me up as a deviant. With the FMG, the Walkabout Hotel at Transfield up in Port Hedland. They've been setting me up everywhere as a deviant. Because they've seen these photos. I never told you before. I've never shown anybody these photos. These photos were on a fucking SD memory card in my room somewhere with all the other cards. I didn't even have them on my phone. The system knows that I've got these photos. How? They've hacked my phones, my tablets. They know about the photo of Hailey. I've never showed anybody that photo. And I think everybody knows about it because the system's relating everything to those photos. They treated me as a pervert because of those photos and because of Hailey. How the hell do they know I've got those photos? They've invaded my privacy, disregarded my rights, And then they bullying me in my life about personal shit that no one has ever supposed to know about. How did I know? They've fucking taken my stuff, invaded my privacy and hacked my shit. So Rob was just he was bullying me to see what I think about upskirts and all this shit. I don't give a crap about all that shit. Just because I had photos of them one night on my phone because I was curious about the internet and my phone clarity on my screen. That doesn't mean fuck all. Now people are treating me as a fucking pervert, pedophile and a rapist for stories, you know? And like I said, nobody knows about those photos. And they're nothing that I've got to hide. They're just in a file somewhere on my memory cards. Practically destroyed my bloody life. Everybody's treating me like some kind of dog, man. Craig took my taser, saying I owe him because I think he was trying to insinuate I owed him money. He was aware of the system denying my progression, taking my money for gear, and making me feel like a shit friend, saying I owe him money when they know the system's taken my jobs away from me and they orchestrating my jobs. So I'm not getting paid and I'm not getting my jobs. I was supposed to be on Gorgon this time. I wouldn't have been in Perth fucking getting gear off him. I wouldn't have been owing anybody money, or I wouldn't have been sitting there having gear. I would have been fucking working where I was supposed to be. But these hours are fucking making me feel like a shit friend. Taking my fucking taser, giving me shit to fuck up my pod. But they know that I have no money because the system's denying my progression and they're a part of it. He fucking gave me all his gaping porn videos. I asked, he said, oh, give me some porn. He's got all his fucking gaping porn videos, you know, gross shit that I don't even give a fuck about. That's disgusting. He was just bullying me because they say I'm an ass rapist for my wife. And Mervy and fucking, sorry folks, the story is just really getting to me. Because they say I'm an ass rapist for my wife. A rapist for Hailey. And what happened between me and Sharlene. So he's bullying me. He's giving me all this gaping porn. And sniggering behind my back pretty much. And he gave me all these video clips of porn. And they were all 30-second or 40-second video clips. So this is part of what they do with the system. They make me anxious and excited. For something that's going to happen. They get me excited and then nothing happens. Because all he does is, because he sent me all these video clips, but there was no porn movies on them. There was no movies. So I got excited and then there's no movies, nothing. Like teasing me. You know what I'm saying? It's to cause anxiety. This is what they were doing. They were working on my fucking emotions and my character. Everybody contradicting who I am. How come everybody's allowed to do this to me? So he's fucking talking about, Eamon, I don't want you back. That's either for my wife or Renee Cooper. That's important fucking shit that I needed to know about. Especially if it had to do with my wife and my daughter that I haven't seen for 8 years that time. It's not a fucking joke. People are treating my life as I don't exist, as they can treat me like a fucking anything they want. And this thing that happened with Hailey, I remember parts of the night that happened with Hailey. I guarantee they've got video. Everything they're doing relates to them having video. Craig shaking his head and all the shit and all these fucking pictures and how they've been treating me. I can mimic what I remember about that night. So if they've got video, I can mimic what happened with me and Hailey, the parts I remember. So that should match up to the video. And why don't they give me a fucking lie detector test? And her. And my wife. And Sharlene. Give us all a lie detector test. Because I'm being bullied every day right now by the freaking system. I had a fucking gutful of it. Sorry folks, this story's just been playing on my mind. That last job I went to, Neal Walker was there. He was telling me about Micheal crooks stabbing him in the back and all this, yeah. I don't know Neal Walker, I didn't really know him. But that Micheal crooks story, stabbing in the back, what does that relate to? People stabbing me in the back, because all my friends are fucking stabbing me in the back. And that relates to one time me and Micheal crooks was there at a nightclub in town, and he spilled his drink on me and this and that, and I was like, hey, what kind, this and that. But that's fucking 20 years ago, it's it. How we bras, you know what I'm saying? I've seen him a few times. I saw him in Rockingham one time with my mother, and I think that might have been orchestrated because I spoke about him. You know what I'm saying? People are trying to make me feel like a cunt for life. Years later. People are taking me back in time to situations that happened, and now they're bullying me now. And my whole fucking future's messed up. My character, my name, everything. Anyway, and at that last job, they were all bullying. The engineer,